Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Life English Practice. I am Mary, and I am sitting here with John. We are very glad you are spending your time with us today.
It is wonderful to be here, Mary, especially on a morning like this in Columbus. The gray skies outside are completely relentless.
I know. The Ohio winter just refuses to end. We still have that heavy, wet snow on the ground, and it makes people want to stay inside and hide.
Staying inside and hiding. That is actually a perfect metaphor for what we are discussing today regarding the English language.
Yes, we are talking about 3 small words today. Do, does, and did. They look simple in a grammar book, but they carry a huge emotional weight for adults learning English.
People think learning a language is just about memorizing vocabulary, but no one talks about the deep insecurity that happens when you open your mouth and the wrong tense comes out.
Exactly. You are an intelligent adult. Back in your home country, you might have been a manager, a teacher, or a doctor. You had respect. You could express complex ideas.
But here in the U.S., maybe you are at a local grocery store here in Ohio, and the cashier asks you a basic question, and your mind completely freezes.
The cashier smiles and asks, "Do you need a bag?" And instead of a full, natural response, you just nod silently or say a very quiet yes, because you are terrified of making a mistake.
It is the fear of sounding uneducated. That is the unspoken reality. No one wants to sound like a child when they are 40 years old.
That is why we need to change how we view these 3 little words. Do is not just a present tense auxiliary verb. Do is friendly. Do asks questions about your daily life and your identity.
If I ask you, "Do you like music?" and you answer, "Yes, I do," that is a complete, confident interaction. It establishes connection.
But many learners say, "Yes, I like," or "No, I not." We understand what they mean, but it lacks that natural rhythm. "Yes, I do" creates a bridge between 2 people.
Analytical. There is a fascinating cognitive science study about this. When native speakers use these verbs, they process them in the language center of the brain effortlessly. But adults learning a new language actually process grammar rules in the prefrontal cortex.
Wait, the prefrontal cortex? Isn't that the area used for solving complex mathematics and logical puzzles?
Exactly. So when you are standing in line trying to decide between do and does, you are not just speaking. Your brain is literally performing high-level mental algebra. No wonder people feel exhausted.
That makes complete sense. We judge ourselves for freezing, but our brains are actually working incredibly hard just to process the moment. We need to offer ourselves more patience.
Patience is key. Let us move to does. It is just do for one person, he, she, or it. Does your sister live nearby? It sounds very polite and natural.
And a very common mistake happens here. People say, "Does he likes his job?" They put the S on the main verb. But does already carries that weight. You only need to say, "Does he like his job?"
These small corrections remove the robotic feeling from our speech. But Mary, I want to talk about the word that scares people the most. The word did.
The past tense. Why do you think did carries so much fear?
Because talking about the past often involves our mistakes, our regrets, and our history. When you move to a new country, you leave a lot behind. The past can be a sensitive subject.
I understand. If I ask, "Did you like your English class when you were a child?" that question might bring up memories of strict teachers or feelings of inadequacy.
Exactly. You might answer, "No, I didn't." And I want our listeners to know that this sentence is not weak. It is a brave sentence because it is honest.
Listen to the difference here. I do not understand English. That sounds like a permanent state. It sounds sad. But if you say, I did not understand English before, how does that feel?
It feels hopeful. By using did, you are acknowledging that the situation has changed. You are showing growth. You are no longer that person who did not understand.
That is the emotional power of grammar. It is not just rules on a page. It is how you frame your life story. Did represents the distance you have traveled.
But when people are nervous, everything mixes together. A manager at work asks, "Did you finish the report?" And the person panics and says, "Yes, I do." It causes confusion.
And that confusion creates a fear of the workplace. We have listeners who stay in lower-paying jobs because they are afraid of the interview process. They fear mixing up their timelines.
There is a trick to overcome this. Before you answer, you do not need to analyze the grammar. Just ask yourself one mental question. Is this about my life now, or is this finished?
If it is about your life in general, your mind should naturally lean toward do or does. If the action is finished, lean toward did. It is about feeling the time, not doing math.
Let us practice that feeling. I will give you a scenario. You are drinking coffee right now. Do you like this coffee?
Yes, I do. It is warm, and it helps me ignore the cold Ohio morning outside.
Now, think about the coffee you bought at that terrible gas station yesterday. Did you enjoy that coffee?
No, I didn't. It tasted like old water. See the difference? Same person, same topic, but the feeling of time changed my response automatically.
That is what fluency actually is. Fluency is not knowing big, complicated academic words. Fluency is the ability to connect with another human being without your fear blocking the connection.
A lot of learners feel that using short answers like, yes, I do, or no, I didn't, makes them sound boring. They want to construct long, complex sentences to prove they are smart.
And that is a trap. When you try to build a massive sentence while you are nervous, you crash. The short answers are actually a sign of confidence. They are strong because they are perfectly clear.
It is better to confidently say, yes, I did, and smile, than to stumble through a 10-second sentence filled with anxiety. The smile and the eye contact matter more than the vocabulary.
We mentioned fear earlier. I want to point out something funny that happens to students when they finally understand the past tense. They start putting did everywhere.
Oh, absolutely. They say, did you breathe today? Did you open the door? Did you look at the sky? They use it for everything.
And honestly, that is a beautiful stage of learning. Overusing a structure means your brain is waking up to it. It is much better to make mistakes loudly than to sit in silence.
Silence is the real enemy of language learning. You cannot steer a parked car. You have to start moving, even if you are making mistakes, so you can adjust your direction.
Let me ask you something personal, Mary. Did you feel confident when you first started speaking publicly on this podcast?
No, I didn't. My hands would shake before we recorded. I was worried people would judge my accent or the way I formulated sentences.
Do you feel confident now?
Yes, I do, most of the time, because I realized that perfect English never comes. Communication is about being understood, not about being perfect.
That is the absolute truth. If your listener understands your intention, your English is already working. You do not need to wait for perfection to participate in society.
To everyone listening, whether you are driving to work or sitting quietly at home, ask yourself right now, Do you want to improve?
And if your silent answer is, yes, I do, then you have everything you need. You have the desire. The grammar will follow the desire naturally.
Progress requires a lot of patience. If this conversation helped you view your mistakes differently, or if do, does, and did feel a little less terrifying now, please subscribe to Talk Mary.
We really appreciate your time. Learning a language is a deeply emotional journey, and you do not have to walk it alone. We will be right here with you.
Remember, you are entirely capable. Stop waiting for the fear to disappear. Speak with the fear. See you in the next conversation. Goodbye.